This is the September 2023 edition of Desert Trail Cam. And as always, this video journal is brought to you by rabbits and by quail and, of course, by the doves, of whom there are many. If this is your first time watching Desert Trail Cam, this is a video journal documenting the animals in my neighborhood, which is part of suburban Tucson, Arizona. I have several trail cameras set up around my property, and once a month I check the footage and then I share it on this channel. This month there were many coyotes. This cat, which has appeared in previous months, continues to survive these coyotes, but if you check the timestamps on these two videos, they were only an hour apart here. This coyote only has one eye. Of course, I have to wonder what happened to the other eye. Throw in a roadrunner here to fulfill our Looney Tune fantasy. Watch how this coyote acts after it marks. It gets excited like a cat leaving the litter box. What a good-looking animal a coyote is. Its rusty fur and its fluffy tail, big radio antenna ears. This one jumped over the camera. I believe this coyote is pregnant. You'll see her a few more times here in the video. She's kind of limping too, but she's very thick. And this little one likes to make a habit of doing that. Their tails go up a little bit when they stand at attention. There's the pregnant one again. And there's the cat again. As I said, there were so many coyotes this month. Do you ever wonder how many coyotes are in your neighborhood? It probably depends on where you live. I live on the outskirts of a large city, so that's a pretty good environment for coyotes, a mixture of nature and human trash. Here is a javelina, and I believe it's the injured javelina that we caught back in the springtime, and she's pretty well recovered. Here's her travel partner. The folks at the Bobcats in Tucson Research Project tell me this bobcat's name is Luna, and she has kittens in the area that we should be on the lookout for. Here's that cat again, and it's eating something on the left side of the wash here. You can kind of see its eyes shining. If you've watched my videos in the past, you know I'm not a big fan of outdoor cats eating mice and lizards and the natural prey of the animals who live in these environments. It's a very pretty cat, and it seems to be a good survivor because it hasn't been eaten yet. And there's plenty of things around to eat it, that is for sure. So the next part of this video, following these hummingbirds here, and it's amazing how many hummingbirds there are here. You'll see that this is 64 degrees on September 15th, so maybe the first cool morning attracted all these hummers, and there's even a male hummingbird in there getting along with all these females. It's really impressive because usually they're so territorial. After these hummingbirds, though, we're going to transition to a very different animal using the bird feeder, which is bats. But first, I guess we have to show this hummingbird getting perturbed by the Gila woodpecker hogging all the nectar. And here they are. Usually in the end of August, the beginning of September, I start to notice that the nectar in my hummingbird feeders goes down by 3 or 4 inches a night. And that's when I know that the bats have arrived. I've made previous videos on these nectar feeding bats, and I'll link to those in the description. This year they chose the bird feeder in the front of my house. Usually they use the one in the back more, but this year, for some reason, the front feeder seemed more appealing to them. These bats are migratory, and there's a couple different species that they could be, but the most common one is Mexican long-tongued bats. Because they are more common, that is what these likely are, though they could also be lesser long-nosed bats, which are endangered. The bats show up each night around 10:30, and they cut off their activity somewhere before sunrise. For the month or so that they're active and feeding at these hummingbird feeders, it's a lot of work to keep up with how much nectar they drink. I end up creating about a quart or so of nectar every other day to keep up with 2 hummingbird feeders, which of course is also feeding hummingbirds and Gila woodpeckers and verdin, but it's really the bats that suck the nectar down at incredible rates. So I'm going to stop talking now. If you want to learn more about these bats, check out one of my other videos. As always, I appreciate you watching Desert Trail Cam, and I will be back in the beginning of November with another video. Thanks again.